All right, guys. Well, I'm back out here in the shop, and I wanted to do a hopefully not too lengthy video of some updates that we've done, some things that we've made, and better organize the shop. And I have a couple new additions that I wanted to talk about briefly, and I'm kind of excited about sharing that. I want to talk about this as well. Yep, it happened. But go ahead and stick around and let's get to it. All right, everyone. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch base on some of the things that we've added to the shop to better organize everything. Not too much here, but as you can see behind me, I've got a new the oscillating sander and belt sander behind me, and I have the drill press next to it. It used to be in the corner right there. The drill press used to be over there. So we decided to get this, and it's definitely helped. It's a pretty nice machine. I don't really have any reviews on it or anything like that. All I can tell you was the price is right. I got a decent deal on it, and but the biggest thing is just like anything, I needed a place to put it. I looked at a lot of options with the flip top that everybody seems to be doing. I don't really like those. I like to have kind of quick access. I don't really want to have to do a lot of flipping and going back and things like that. So I'm kind of right in the middle of it, but this cart here actually used to be straight across, but this was too high. After I bought it, it was just, I mean, the top was like up here and it was just too much. So I decided to build this stand, and it's next to my wife's lathe, which used to be over there in the corner. Now I just have the planer on the cart sitting there. But she's been needing this sander and drill press kind of next to the lathe, so I thought this wall would be a good spot. But again, my carts that I make are simple construction that you guys have seen in previous videos. I have construction grade 2x4s for the framing, and then I go ahead and what I did here is I just added 3/4 inch plywood on the inside, so I have a spot to put my drawer slides, just like here. And I will eventually probably put like a 1/4 inch backing on it, just to maybe keep the dust down from getting in the drawers. I do have to build drawers for this side. I do have the drawer slides already and everything, but I was gonna do like a door with some shelves, but I just like the drawers. I just like having drawers. I do have to do the fronts yet to this, but pretty deep. I got them, I believe, 8 inches deep for these. They slide pretty good. I had to do some adjustments on them. Obviously, with the 2x4 frame, I was not quite square, so I had to adjust my drawer slides a little bit on this side. But as you guys can see, like I've always done, I've got just simple butt joints. I did put 3/8 bottom on these because I'm not quite sure how much weight she's going to put in there. I think she's going to be getting some chucks and stuff down the road that are quite heavy, so I went ahead and stuck them in there just in case. But a simple cart. I probably will be doing a few finishing touches. I just add the trim like I normally do with all my other stuff. But so far so good. I've only used the sander a couple times, and everything seems to be working fine on it. So I don't really plan on doing any kind of review with that. It's just out of the box for the price and everything. I like it. One other thing that we've added as well is I've got you can see rubber glove holder on my side, and I've got, I'll probably be getting a few different kinds of rags here. I got to get a thing to put a paper towel. The top has hinges on it. Sorry guys, I'm trying to manage the camera as well. Got hinges on it as well, so I can refill the rags. I just filled all 3 slots with the same rag because I had a ton of it. I did get the idea from Shop Nation, so check him out. He does a lot of good videos on organization and things. It's got a lot of good stuff. So I kind of took inspiration from that. I had some 1/2 inch plywood sitting around that I wanted to get rid of, so that's been a good addition. I did buy this AccuCut from Craig. I haven't used it yet because they do suggest that you have a like a 4x4 sheet of something to get this edge piece cut for the first time. I think you need to take off like a 1/16 of an inch. I don't have a scrap piece of plywood sitting around that's 4 foot by 4 foot, so I haven't used it yet. I do have the saw hooked up on the mounting piece that goes on there, so I'm kind of excited about using that so I can break down some sheets before I get them on the table saw. I did move a few things around, as you can see. I did have that whole wall there, and I will talk about what's in the box in just a few minutes, and that's kind of why I moved everything over there. But back over here, I decided to add a shroud over my miter saw. For the most part, it was picking up the dust pretty good, with the dust collection coming from the side and the shot back in the back. But it was getting a little annoying having this thing, you know, moving it out of the way and just kind of being in the way. And also, obviously, I wanted to cut down on as much dust as I possibly could. But I didn't build an airtight box. This is a simple square box construction. I did nothing fancy. I cut a hole for this. I siliconed it. I probably should have went somehow under and from the bottom, but I may add some felt here, some fabric, not felt, but fabric, just to kind of help that a little more. But I'm not sure if you guys can see in there, there's really not a lot of dust in there. And I know it's not gonna get rid of all of it, but I just wanted to kind of keep it more contained in there. And again, I've got a few different kinds of plywood here. I've got, you know, construction grade plywood, and then I've got some nicer sanded stuff. I just grabbed what I could, and I put some of it together with pocket hole screws, and then the rest of it I face screwed it so that I can change it or get it out of the way. But another thing is I do have this so that I can actually turn this all the way to 45 as well if I wanted to on each side, and that was another reason why I didn't really get fancy with my plywood here in different contours. And along with the drawers that I'm making over there, I am going to make some drawers down here. I've been wanting to do that. I'm going to get rid of this shelf, and I'm going to make some drawers in there. I think a couple small ones, and then I'll do the big one. So I'm kind of excited about that. Finally got some more plywood. I did a simple, I got Harbor Freight clamps, I got Irwin clamps, I got a couple Bessie, I had some old pipe, got some Bessie clamps. It's really not the greatest, you know, clamp rack, but it got them out of the corner, it got them on the wall, and now I can just grab and go. One last thing before, actually, let's talk about this. So I showed you this. Well, the good news is it works. And the bad news is I had to replace the cartridge. But obviously, knowing when I bought the saw, I had to replace the cartridge if I had to. But what happened is I had like a serving tray I was making, and I had read some articles and about I was going to use epoxy to fill the cracks, and I used some foil tape on the bottom. And I watched a video where a guy said the foil tape worked pretty good because it's sticky and it held better. And actually that's all I had at the time. And it was a Sunday evening, and there wasn't any stores open, and I happened to have foil tape. So anyway, I filled the tape, did the epoxy. The next morning I decided to come out before work and kind of cut the edge off. Well, I forgot a little piece of foil tape on the bottom. So in a way I'm glad, because I got to see the saw and the brake in action, but obviously I had to replace the brake, which was $80. But I also replaced the blade, and honestly, I don't know how to get that thing out of there. I mean, it's like in there. I'm probably just gonna hang this on the wall as a souvenir, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to go over that it was quite crazy, actually. I'm running it through there, and then it just slammed down in a millisecond. So, but I'm glad. If it was my finger, I would hope knock on wood, that the brake would work. So, and I'm happy that I got to see the technology in action, and I was obliged to spend the $80 to replace it. So, the next edition, and I actually just got it today. I have another piece that I'll talk about quickly coming. Just a quick background. I've got dust collection, as you know, in the corner for the saw. I have dust collector, another 3/4 horsepower behind the table saw. And for the most part, they do okay. They probably get, 65-70% of it. But it is pretty bad out here. And I'm not as concerned in the summer. I open the big door a lot and we work like that. But with winters here, they last so long, you can't open the door. And a lot of sanding, a lot of things going on. And it's getting heavy in here. And I obviously, with my son out here, we wear our masks, but I don't want to run into any issues, and I don't want my family to have issues as well. So we saved our coin and we invested in a Cyclone dust collector. I have literally researched every single brand from Grizzly and Jet and Laguna and everybody, and I read so many reviews that my head was spinning, and the horsepower I should get and what I should do, and finally there was a sale going on Woodcraft for Jet brand, and I got the new let's see if I can read the box from here. It's the JCDC-1.5, so the 1.5 horsepower. This is a small shop. I'm not concerned on it. I will end up doing a build video on that, and just for the unit itself, just so I can give you guys an idea if anybody's interested in it and how the build went, and some of the things I liked and didn't like at first. So it wouldn't be any kind of a review at first, but then I would like to continue that into, I plan on putting some hard lining in to the lathe, because it's gonna go in the corner over there. And then I'm just gonna run some pipe across, and I'm gonna go have some drop downs to the lathe and the sander, and probably have something, towards the drill press. Then the plan is to actually go up on the ceiling and over and do a drop down and grab the joiner and the table saw. And then I'll have some blast gates. There's some minor things I'll probably go over a little bit as well. I'll probably add in a Y that comes down on the drop down, and I would like to go to a port where I can hook up maybe a hose that I can get through Rockler or somewhere. I can hook up to the sander, so when I'm doing the palm sander, everything will go through that as well. But I think what I am going to do is, for now, is I'm going to keep the dust collector in the corner for the miter saw strictly. It's a 24 by 24 shop. I'm not too concerned on pipe runs, but I really don't want to stretch it too much, because the dust collector is going to come right out towards the lathe and the sander and everything. I don't really want to have to try and come out with a Y, come around and come back the other way. I have a feeling I would lose some suction for that. And that's actually a pretty decent dust collector, and that's a Jet brand as well. And if it's just for the miter saw, it works just fine. I have a shop vac in the back, just like I said, and everything works great. So I don't feel that I need to change that at all. So we're pretty excited about that. And obviously, since it probably isn't going to get 100% of it out of it, we also bought a air filtration system that I'm going to mount in the ceiling as well. That should help tremendously. So we're pretty excited about that. So not a whole lot of interesting stuff going on, but I just wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on. And I am going to be putting out a video. I'm actually hoping to start filming tonight. I want to start putting that thing together and showing you guys how it looks. So I appreciate you guys sticking around watching. Hopefully the next time you see me, I can show you my dust collector, and I can start getting some lines put in and start getting some things figured out. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.